Hello. Okay, so yes, I know, recording twice a day. Kind of rare now. I'm going to be reading a Daisuke X reader. Um, so, I will link the Wattpad down in the description like I do with every single one of my other videos. Um, but me too, Corey. Anyways, I'm still watching the same video by Corey Kenshin. This one's called Caught. It is a little bit spicy, but mostly fluff. That is at least what the author says. With that being said, let's continue. Daisuke was Swansea's intern. Upon signing up for the internship, there were many rules he had to read over. One of them was not having romantic relationships with any other crew member on the ship during the duration of the trip. The idea initially made him snicker, not believing that it would be an issue. There you two were, though, your hand placed against Daisuke's lips to quiet his panting. You were in one of the hallways, his hand gently wrapped around your waist as you listened, hearing footsteps on the opposite hallway. In the middle of oh sorry, in the middle of making out with you two gotten carried away and you pushed him against the wall loud enough to wake everyone else, causing them to check. Daisuke would have looked down at you with adoration and love in his eyes, despite trying their best to stay hidden. He couldn't help but feel desperate for more of you, his fingers digging into your waist to ground him from doing anything stupid. Suddenly, there was a rumble from the opposite hallway. The voice sounded like Swansea's. There would be some footsteps, and a door would close, causing relief to wash over the both of you. Then you had both moved your hands off his lips. He gently snickered. Close one, he said, smiling sheepishly down at you, admiring how beautiful you looked. Where were we? He asked, softly leaning down towards you again, his forehead resting against yours. Daisuke's forehead pressed against yours, his breath still unsteady as his hands lingered on your waist. His dark eyes searched yours, a mixture of nervous excitement and pure want reflecting in them. He let out a shaky laugh, his lips curling to a boyish, slightly awkward grin that made your heart skip a beat. Where were we, indeed? He teased, your voice rarely above a whisper, as you slid your hand up his chest. His yellow shirt slightly rumpled from your earlier enthusiasm, but you couldn't help but smirk at the sight. His hands twitched against your sides, his grip tightening lightly before loosening, clearly unaware of how to proceed. I, uh, he stammered, his face turning a deeper shade of red. I'm not very good at this. You tilted your head, your thumb brushing gently against his cheek. You're doing just fine, you murmured, leaning in so your lips were just a breath away from his. Trust me. Daisuke swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing as he nodded slightly. Okay, he said softly, his voice cracking just a little. You closed the gap between you, your lips meeting his in a kiss that was slower than this than that was slower this time, more deliberately. He responded hesitantly at first, his movements careful and measured, as though he was afraid of doing something wrong. As you deepened the kiss, you felt him relax, his hands sliding up your back as he pulled you closer. The quiet hum of the ship around you seemed to fade away, leaving only the sound of your mangled breasts and soft lips pressed against each other. Daisuke's hands became bolder, one settling at the small of your back while the other moved to cup your face. His touch was warm, a little clumsy but endearing. The way he kissed you, attentive yet eager, made your chest tighten with something that felt dangerously close to affection. When you both parted away for air, his eyes fluttered open, dazed and unfocused as he tried to catch his breath. Wow, he breathed, his voice barely audible. That was, wow. You couldn't help but laugh softly, your fingers tracing the edge of his jaw. You're cute when you're flustered, you said, your tone teasing. Daisuke growled, his face flushing even darker. Great. Just what I wanted to hear, he muttered, though the smile tugging at the corner of his lips betrayed his words. Before he could say anything else, he leaned in again, your lips brushing against his ear as he whispered, "You're also really good at this, in case you were wondering." His breath hitched as he felt his hands tighten on your back. "You think so?" he asked, his voice cracking slightly. "Definitely," he murmured, pressing a kiss to the corner of his mouth. Daisuke let out a shaky laugh, his forehead falling to rest against yours again. "I can't believe we're doing this," he said, his voice low, filled with disbelief. "What if someone—" "They won't," you interrupted, your tone firm but gentle. "We're being careful. Right now, it's just us." His gaze softened at your words and nodded slowly. "Okay," he said, his voice steadier now. "Just us." With that, he leaned in again, his lips finding yours in a kiss that was deeper, more confident this time. His hands roamed cautiously, exploring with a mix of nervousness and growing boldness that sent sparks racing through you. This time, it was Daisuke who pressed you against the wall, his body shielding yours as though creating a bubble where nothing else existed but the two of you. The rules, the risks, the entire ship of it all faded away, leaving only the warmth of his touch and the unspoken promise in his kiss. The dim light of the hallway cast over a glow over Daisuke's flushed face as he pressed closer, his breath mingling with yours. His lips found yours again, more instant this time, the nervous edge fading as his hands explored with his newfound confidence. One of his hands slid up your back, his fingers curling against the fabric of your uniform as though trying to pull you closer. Closer than the ship between you already allowed. The other found its way to your hip, Oh, okay. The other found your way to his hips, his grip firm but not demanding. His touch sent a shiver through you. You ran your fingers through his hair, tugging lightly as the quiet gasp against your lips sent a thrill down your spine. He pressed you firmly against the wall, his body flushed now against yours. Oh, excuse me. That was nasty. Okay. The tension in his muscles betraying his resistance. His lips left yours, trailing softly down your jawline to your neck. His breast uneven against your skin. He tilted at your head, giving him better access. His hesitation melted away as he began to kiss and nip at the sensitive spot just above your collarbone. How much do we have left? Okay, not much. Okay. Your hands once again slid down to his chest, feeling the rapid beat of his heart beneath your palm. Okay, just checking. The warmth radiating from him was intoxicating as you pushed him away just slightly. His hips pressed instinctively forward, his reaction drawing a soft sound from your lips. Oh my god, I almost choked. Okay. His hand tightening on your hip, his forehead dropping to your shoulder as he tried to steady his breathing. For a moment, he just held you there, his body tense against yours. The charged air between you filled the unspoken pull of more. Finally, his lips brushed against your ear, his voice low and husky. What the hell is going on here? A voice barked sharply from behind, cutting Daisuke off mid-sentence. The hallway lights flickered on with a low hum, cascading a stark brightness over the scene, illuminating Daisuke's startled expression. You quickly pushed him aside, your heart pounding as you turned to see Swansea standing there, disheveled and flanked by Curly, who looked like he'd been just dragged out of bed. Daisuke jolted in surprise, letting out a strangled noise somewhere between a gasp and a squeak. We, exactly how long have you both been standing there? He stammered, his voice cracking with nervous energy. Curly let out a groggy chuckle, rubbing his eyes as he muttered, long enough to see both of your tongues halfway down his throat. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Swansea snapped, pinching the bridge of his nose. It's 2:30 in the damn morning. Both of you, get your asses to bed now. We'll deal with this in a meeting with everyone first thing tomorrow. His voice stern but low, trying not to wake the rest of the crew. You and Daisuke nodded frantically, both mumbling apologies as you scrambled to compose yourselves. Without another word, you turned to hurry off in opposite directions before panting ways entirely. Your eyes met his one last time. Daisuke's cheeks were flushed, his lips parted, as though he wanted to say something, but thought better of it. Instead, he gave you a lopsided, almost mischievous grin, a silent promise that despite everything, he didn't regret a single moment. Ah, you couldn't help but return a small smile of your own before slipping into the shadows, your heart still racing. That was actually one of the best ones I've read so far. Like, it's so imaginative, you know? But anyways, I decided to do Daisuke again because he's one of the more popular ones. Yeah, because I've noticed the other ones that aren't Daisuke have not been getting enough attention. So I will be posting more. Oh god. Anyways, so with that being said, have a great day and good night.